Hello, my kindergarten artists. Today we're going to be talking about colors again. But this time, instead of talking about primary and secondary colors, we're going to be talking about our hot colors. So those are colors that we think of when we think of fire. So it'd be red, yellow, and orange. Now, I've got a fun story to read to you before we get our project started. All right, so you ready? Our book is called Firebird. And this is really nice because it has to do with a firebird, which that's perfect for our hot colors, right? So long ago, there was a faraway kingdom, and in that kingdom lived a prince named Ivan. Now, his kingdom was next to a dark forest. Ever since he was a little boy, he had heard stories about people who had tried to go into the forest to find the magic tree that had the golden apples on it. But anybody who ever went into the forest never came back. Now, once Ivan had grown up and winter was over, he thought, I think I'm going to try and go and find that magic tree. So he decided he snuck into the forest one night and went deeper and deeper until he saw in the distance a glowing light. In where the light was a beautiful garden. And in the center of the garden stood the magic tree with its golden fruit. I just have to have one piece, he thought to himself, when suddenly there was a flash of light across the sky. It soared back and forth before landing next to the magic tree. The light transformed into the most beautiful creature he'd ever seen, a firebird. Prince Ivan watched her from the shadows before jumping forward and capturing her in his arms. Terrified, the firebird struggled to get free. Twisting and turning, she beat her wings frantically. Ivan thought, this wild creature deserves to be free. So gently, he let go. Fly away, he whispered. At once, the firebird flew up into the air. Ivan bowed in respect to her and said goodbye. But the firebird was so grateful for Ivan's kindness that it removed one brilliant red feather and gave it to him. This feather is a magic charm, she said. You only need to wave it in the air if you ever need help, and I will come to you. And with that, she disappeared. Ivan stood for a while before he suddenly heard voices coming near him. Quickly, he hid behind a bush. 10 beautiful ladies appeared, singing a sad song. Ivan thought they were beautiful and stepped from his hiding place to greet them, but they drew back frightened. I don't want to hurt you, Ivan said quietly. The most beautiful maiden stepped forward. Who are you? Ivan asked. We are princesses, she said. We came here to find the magic tree and were taken prisoner by the evil sorcerer. This is his garden and his magic tree. Everything here belongs to him, even us. We can't escape. Touched by the princess's story, Ivan reached out to her. The maidens danced and sang songs of joy. For that moment, they seemed so happy, and Ivan decided he was going to save them all. Just then, the sky darkened, and a crash of thunder boomed overhead. The sorcerer, cried the princesses fearfully. The beautiful princess gave Ivan a goodbye kiss and fled with her friends into the forest. Then the whole ground began to shake and opened up to reveal the most terrifying sight of all, the evil sorcerer, and with him were a bunch of hideous monsters. The sorcerer signals to his monsters to attack the prince. From all sides they lashed out at Ivan, and he knew soon he would be defeated. But then he remembered the red feather. Exhausted, he pulled it from his pocket and waved it in the air. Suddenly, a brilliant light appeared. The firebird had returned. She quickly handed Ivan a golden sword and then swirled in the air, distracting the monsters. Ivan lunged at the evil sorcerer and defeated him. The princesses ran to Ivan, and together they bowed in gratitude to their firebird. As the sun began to rise through the forest, the firebird rose in the air and flew away into the mist. Prince Ivan and the princess returned to his kingdom and were married. Often in the evenings, just as the sun begins to set, Prince Ivan would walk alone to the edge of the forest and remember. So I think that's a pretty cool story about the firebird. So today for your project, you have 2 choices. First, you're going to need to get out some paper. And you're going to need to get out your hot colors. If you're using crayons or markers or colored pencils, it doesn't matter. But you need to get out your hot colors. And that'll be red, orange, and yellow. Okay? I'm going to use crayons, because crayons have lots of different oranges depending on what box you've got. Now, option number 1 is you could just draw some fire using your hot colors. So that's not too hard. You just draw some tall flames. And then use your hot colors to color it in. I think I'll put yellow in the middle. And then I'll put my oranges. Now remember to make sure you're coloring nicely and you're not scribbling. So if you want, this is the easier choice. You could just draw some fire. See what the different oranges look like. Well, that's cool. It's a little bit darker. I think it's really dark. Almost turns into a red. I think I'll actually go all the way to the top on that one. And then I'll use my red again to make some sparks that sometimes pop off the fire. There, now I've got my fire. Option 2 is you can try and draw a firebird. That would be harder. So let's see, I'm going to draw the bird's belly, and then its head. Put a beak on it, its back. Let's see, and it would have the bright, fiery wings, right? And then a tail that looks like fire. There we go. And now I would neatly color it in. I think I'm going to leave the beak red. And then I think I'm going to make the tail yellow. And then maybe I'll even take this dark orange and color a little bit of orange on it. Oh, that looks cool. I think I'll use these oranges for my wings. And make sure you're coloring nicely. Try your best to stay nice and calm and not scribble. There. Bright orange wings. It's okay if you spill out of the lines a little bit, but try your best to stay nice and calm coloring. I like to use lots of different colors. So now it looks like my bird is made of fire. And then I think I'm going to make the body regular orange. Use the red for the eye. Make mine a happy firebird. Oh, well, I guess the mouth would be on the beak. Oh, well. And then maybe I'll put some feathery lines on it just to make it kind of cooler. Little feet. There we go. So now I've got a firebird. So I want you to draw either some fire or a firebird, or if you want, you could even do both. Let me know what you create and have fun.